Welcome to Not This Time. I'm Kayla Burch, and this is where we stop the cycle and choose differently. Mindset is the most over-glorified tool in the personal development space, and nobody's talking about how toxic it is, and nobody's talking about how much it misses the mark. Because you've been freaking sold this bill of goods that it's a mindset issue. It's not a mindset issue. Mindset is our conscious mind. So that's what we think. Programming is in our subconscious mind. So I really want you to think about this. When you start to get into this, I can do this, I can do this. Yes, I'm ready to take this next step. Yes, I believe in myself. All of these things, you say it. You say it either externally, you read it on your freaking a mantra. And then what happens? Well, then your subconscious mind comes in and says, bullshit. You're not ready for this. You're not capable. You're not enough. You're not smart enough. Remember that last time this happened? Remember, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. We are getting into it. Not this time. This episode is going to be an absolute game changer for you because we're actually getting to what holds you back. And I can't settle on this any longer. It's so frustrating to me. It is so it's so yucky because I see it all the time and I fell in the trap. Okay, so if you go back and you look at my history, I was actually Kayla Burch, I think health and mindset coach maybe is what I was when I first started, because that's what I thought. I thought that I was helping people with their mindset because that's what we are taught until I started to do this work and I realized, oh, this has nothing to do with your mindset. Your mindset may be I never give up. My mindset may be I always try. But your subconscious mind will always come in and ruin everything for you. It's the worst. But it doesn't have to be. I'm just kidding. It doesn't have to be the worst because we're going to work on this. But what really frustrates me about this is that it's so glorified, this morning routines, the vision board, the mantras, the habits, the I am, the journaling, all of that stuff, where you're just making these statements over and over and over. And then it causes so much freaking frustration because it's just not working. And then you're not doing the things you want to do. And now you're frustrated. I talk about that frustration all the time. And this is it. It's because we think it's a mindset problem, but it's a subconscious problem. It is your subconscious mind that will always run the show. And that subconscious mind is based off your conditioning. And so although those things may work, they may feel good, they may help you, they're not actually doing anything except scratching the surface. They're just scratching the surface of what you think is the problem. Okay. And your subconscious mind will win every time. Every time. Every time. Okay. When we go into this and we really start to understand it, this is where things get a little bit shaky. So we need to use our conscious mind to change our subconscious mind. That's why tools like mantras and beliefs and all of that, they're great, but they're not the end all be all, and they're actually not your solution. They're just part of your choice point, like we talk about all the time. So when you think about it and you think about I just need to have a more positive mindset, or I just need to believe in myself more, and I need to have a mindset of belief in myself, the subconscious mind is going to come in. Say if you're launching a business or you're trying to scale your business or you're trying to have that conversation with your partner that you need to have. And the subconscious mind is going to come in and it's going to really show you what you really believe. Whether you consciously experience that or not, it's the filter that your entire life gets ran through. So if you don't believe that you're heard, when you go into that conversation with your boss, with your business partner, with your life partner, and you start to have this conversation, what's going to be validated back to you? It's going to be validated that you're not heard because you're going to see that, feel it, and experience it because it's your actual belief. It doesn't matter how much the person is actually hearing you. You're going to experience that of not being heard. You're not going to speak up. You're not going to say the things you want to say. You're not going to do that. You're going to react and you're going to be triggered. That's exactly what happens. So you're going to journal another one's you journal about abundance, oh, I want to be rich, or I am rich. I am all these things. Yet your conditioning is that you are not. Your conditioning is that you have to work really, really, really hard to be able to receive money. And so no matter what you do, no matter how much you're chasing ease and how much you say you want that, You're going to create the obstacle every time. You're going to overwork. So when things start to get a little bit easy in your business or in your life, you're going to start overworking because your subconscious mind tells you that things cannot come to you easily. They have to be earned. It has to be hard. It has to be a certain way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about the subconscious mind? This is it. And no amount of mindset is going to change that, because your mindset will tell you that you are worthy of the money, and your subconscious mind will tell you exactly what you really think and experience and feel, and how everything is rooted in that every time. You can't outrun it. So the thing with this conditioning is that these were beliefs that we got programmed long before we ever set goals for ourselves. So long before you ever set a goal of whatever it is you're working on, I want you to think about that. What is it that you're working on in your life right now? What's the goal? What are you moving towards? What do you want? What do you want in life? So long before you ever set that goal, your conditioning was set into place. And so one, you set that goal through conditioning. You set that goal through, fear, lack. A lot of times we set goal. You hear this all the time. I have a podcast on this about fear setting. We set our goals because we're afraid of something else happening. We're afraid of what bad might happen to us. So the conditioning was created long before you set that goal for yourself. For me, when I first started my business, when I started as a mindset coach, and I thought that was the absolute answer to everyone's prayers, was just working on their mindset. And then what I started to discover was that, oh man, this kind of sometimes made things worse because it added so much more frustration. It added a lot of awareness, but a lot of frustration with it. But when I first started, I set those goals out of fear. I set that goal out of conditioning that I was going to be the absolute best health and mindset coach on the planet. And that was because I was scared of not being that. I was scared that would actually, if I wasn't successful in that, then it was going to validate to me that I wasn't good enough and capable enough. So what do you think I did? Well, I sabotaged the hell out of it every chance I got. Every chance I got, I sabotaged that. And that was because my subconscious mind truly believed that I wasn't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to be somebody that is successful. And so I couldn't hold any success. I couldn't maintain the momentum that was coming my way in the middle of this. So everything became pressure. Everything became judgment. Anytime I was more visible, man, I don't know how many times that I posted something and then deleted it within 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, no one's commenting. No one's saying anything. People must not like what I had to say. I knew I wasn't smart enough. I knew I wasn't good enough. So I would delete it. I was so scared to actually be visible because I didn't believe in myself. And I attached so much to my worth, my value, the validation from others. But when I stopped, and I just wanted to get in the mindset of success. So I had this mindset of success, this mindset of abundance. But when I got out of that trap and I stopped trying to mindset my way through it, just try to move straight through all of this with just having a good mindset, which is just sugarcoating, and it's just bypassing. That's all that is when you stay in that lane. And that's what you really think is the end all be all. Because when I say I stopped trying to mindset my way through it, that's when I thought that was the only thing. The only thing that I could do was have a positive mindset, have a mindset of abundance. When really that was doing nothing for me, because my actual belief system was that I was not going to be able to make money. I was not capable or smart enough to be successful. And so the distraction was on the mindset, when what I really needed to do was start reprogramming myself at the root. Reprogramming what I actually believed, reprogramming my conditioning. And that's the work that I do now. That's what really changes you, not because it's trendy, right? Mindset's trendy. Subconscious reprogramming is starting to become trendy, but I've been doing this for a long time. And the reason why I do it is because it's actually the only thing that works long-term. It's the only thing that actually changes you. It changes your mindset. It changes your experience. It changes your belief systems. It's literally the only thing. Because you may believe that mantra. You may think that you believe that mantra for so long. You may believe it in one area of your life, but boom, what happens is another area that's similar comes in and it derails you. And it messes with your progress and your stability because you haven't actually worked on the root. You actually haven't changed the foundational system in which you've created your entire life around. Are you following? Are you tracking? What is your foundational system? What is the thing that needs to be changed for you? That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. And that's why we're doing this work, because it becomes so real and so tangible when we do this and you get your power back. Are you with me? I'm so excited. I'm like on fire about this because like everything else gives your power away. Like your mindset, even the mindset aspect of this. If we think I just need to change my mindset, that gives our power away to what we think is just another belief system, because that's all it is. We're reprogramming the conditioning, right? That's when everything clicks. That's when the mindset gets to be in practice, is when we change the belief system underneath it, because you finally believe it and you're not fighting up against it. You're not creating all these different barriers and these limitations around it. And it's so freaking subtle. This is the big challenge with this, is that we miss it so much of the time. We miss how subtle our conditioning is, because we think we're operating out of power, but we're not. I see it all the time with clients. I see it all the time where they think they're operating from a position of, I know myself, I know my worth. But when you dig deeper, you can really see through that facade. And it's like you're trying to protect a paradigm and a belief system that you built because you're scared of what will happen if you don't have it. The overworking, the undercharging, all of the different aspects, that control, all of these things are coming from your performance of upholding a belief system. So everything that we'll ever talk about, or it's going to come back to this belief system that you've been conditioned to believe. Now, sometimes people might think about this and they think that you're just like absolutely brainwashed to believe something. That's not what I'm talking about. Nobody set you down and brainwashed you in a certain way when you were younger. It's definitely not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just our experience in life, our validation of what we think in life. And then it gets reinforced over and over and over and over. Again, that's why we got to go deeper. We got to go deeper than the mindset, because the mindset's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the conditioning. And that's really easy and it feels very tangible to move, but it doesn't rewire. It doesn't change your experience. That's why when clients come to me and they've been doing a lot of work and they have a lot of awareness, that's why 20 minutes into a first session, this just happened to me last week, 20 minutes into a first session, client goes, I've been in therapy for 30 years. And in 20 minutes, look what we've done. Like, this is what I've been searching for 30 years. It's because one's mindset, one's a different type of paradigm, and one is actually getting to the root of it and changing everything you've ever thought and believed. It's so different. This work is so impactful when you actually allow it to come into your life and come into your experience and you accept it. So what does that look like for you, right? So now we've talked about these differences between the mindset and like your subconscious mind, what's actually running the show, what's actually challenging you and pulling you back and making sure that, you're not breaking it. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Because your conscious mind wants happiness and success and freedom and whatever else, insert whatever preferable way of living you want. Like your conscious mind wants that. So why do you sabotage it? Why do you derail it? Why is it that your subconscious mind wants the opposite? Because it's known and it's familiar and it's safer. Because oftentimes to be able to get to that perceivingly next level of our life, we have to do something really uncomfortable. And that can bring a level of what would be deemed as embarrassment. It could bring a level of more attention that could bring shame. It can bring so much that it's, vulnerable. And to prevent that from happening, so we don't fall on our faces or we're embarrassed or we, perceivingly blow up our life, our subconscious mind is going to say, nah, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. I still do this. There's one specific area of my life that has been my MO, and I'm going to break it down for you of why it's like this. So I have always believed, I'll tell the story till I'm blue in my face. I have always believed that I wasn't smart enough and capable of anything. anything. And so I never thought that I'd be a person that could have a level of success. And so anytime I felt it, when I first started, I would get a lot of momentum in my business, and then I would pull back, I would quit, I'd burn it down. Like I burned my business down so many times, and I would make very legitimate excuses. So my mindset was that I thought I was capable. Like, yes, I could do this. I mean, I had mantras, I had all these things, yet my subconscious mind believed I couldn't do it, because every time I reached a next level, I would sabotage that because I didn't think I could hold it, because I hadn't met up. My subconscious mind hadn't met up to my conscious mind yet. So I would spin and spiral and quit. Okay, so I face this all the time because my belief system was so deeply rooted that I wasn't smart enough and capable enough. I did everything in my power while I was growing up so people would not see my ignorance. They wouldn't see how stupid I thought I was, or I thought I was just so dumb. So I did everything in my power to block people from that. So what do you think I'm doing now every time I go to that next level? What are you doing every time you go to that next level? What insecurity is being highlighted? For me, it's always, they're going to find out that I'm not good enough. Now, I don't believe that anymore. I don't operate out of that paradigm because I've done the deep subconscious work. I've done it, but I can identify it now. That's the difference. It's not running my show anymore because it's been identified, rewired that. But that does not mean that I don't have that thought and I don't have that urge to quit. Every single time I get to that next level, every single time. I just told my husband yesterday, I was like, I'd rather not do any of this. And then we laughed and I was like, oh my gosh. And the reason is because that is my MO. That is what my brain defaults to when it's comfortable. And before, I would have believed it. And now I just see it as a pattern. And immediately when you identify the pattern, guess what? It doesn't become an action. It just becomes something that arises. Look at that. That's what I typically do. I would want to quit when I'm about to get to my next level. I'm not afraid of being found out. I know I'm good at what I know I'm capable. I know I'm smart enough. I know I'm XYZ. I don't have any beliefs that tell me otherwise anymore. I don't have to default back to a pattern. Do you understand how it works? And this is where mindset matches up to your subconscious mind, because the mind can now tell me that I'm safe. My conscious mind can actually say, oh, wait, no, remember, Kayla, you don't believe that anymore. That's not an actual belief. Yeah, I don't believe that. I have no emotional attachment to it. There's no reason for me to quit. It was a pattern that was created because I believed it my entire life. And so it's probably going to stick around and it's probably going to show its head every now and then. And that's okay. I don't have to fall into that trap anymore. Do you guys understand what that difference is? And this is another thing too, is that I've done this work. I don't believe it. Those thoughts still arise, but nothing happens from them except for my awareness of them and then moving on. That's what we're working towards. That's why you have to do this work. And that's why you have to be very diligent and vigilant on it, is because it will keep showing up. And normally it would cause frustration, right? For most people, it causes frustration. Why am I still like this? Why do I still think this? Right? But no, it's just because you've already thought it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay. Just don't fall into the trap anymore. That again is when we utilize the conscious mind. And we can change the subconscious mind. They have to go together. You have to do that deep work. And then it can match up to your mantra. And then you can be expansive. And then you can be wealthy. And then you can be all those things that you write on your cards and you write on your mirror or whatever you're doing with them. This work cannot be ignored. It cannot be outran. That's why the TRM was built. That's why the trigger response method is what it is. And that is how it changes you. This is what we do inside the expansion experience. If you want in, jump in for the first round. If you're listening to this out later, you probably can join too. Just freaking look for it. Do the work. Because this is the part that actually changes you. This is the reprogramming that you're looking for. This is where everything is here to help you unlock that next level without defaulting back to the subconscious mind, because you're actually changing the subconscious mind, and you're changing the subconscious mind in a way that you expand and you can create that freedom and you can have that life. And it is so freaking beautiful. So excited. I would love to know what this looks like for you. Are you understanding the difference between just basic level mindset and the subconscious mind? What stood out for you today in today's episode? What are you taking away? What are you integrating? How is this going to be your not this time moment? How are you going to sit there and look at it and say, I'm not going to default back to what I used to think and believe about myself, not this time. How is this going to turn into that moment for you where everything changes? Absolutely cannot wait. Drop it in the comments. Go find me over on Instagram. Do whatever. Stay connected. Send me an email. Let me know. I love to hear from you guys, and I will see you next week.